Welcome, Dialogue Dolls. I'm Sierra.
I'm Alyssa.
This is going to be one of our first few episodes. We don't know where we're going yet. So,
Yeah,
um,
we're
if you don't
going.
know us, we've been best friends for like 17 years. We're practically sisters. Alyssa lives in California. I live in Indiana. I'm from California and I've been in Indiana exactly a year now. And we just wanted to start this podcast to just share our life, be able to spend more time together, and maybe grow an empire. We don't know.
Yeah. How was your week?
Whew, I feel like it flew by, but
Yeah.
not. I did a lot of baking. I try to bake everything from home. As you know, we're dealing with our sourdough starters. Also, my 4-year-old was still kind of sicky, so the nights have been rough.
Yeah.
Um, Nothing major, but just like the coughing at night. And then he's just like tossing and turning. Like one night, I think it was Sunday or Monday, I was just like, the amount of times I've been slapped is just insane. Like the tossing and turning, I'm like, and then he like tries to crawl onto me, like on my face, and I'm like, okay.
Gosh.
So, and then when he's coughing, I just end up staying up because I either have to get up and get the like Zarbee's little cough syrup or a spoonful of honey for him. And yeah, I figure I might as well just sit up and try to prop him up while he's asleep. So,
Yeah.
been on Instagram a little more because of that.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, overall good. I thought he was over the hump. He did not cough at all yesterday. And then last night, like coughing fit at like 1 something in the morning. So
Poor
I was up for
baby.
like 2 hours. And then, yeah, then I got up at like 8. So same old same. Just trying to catch up on cleaning, housework, cooking. Oh,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
built our greenhouse for the winter.
Oh, it looks so good.
Hopefully it's going to work. I mean, it's
Yeah.
temporary for the next year, maybe two, but
Yeah.
Arkham loved it. He wanted to sleep in it. So, and
Cute.
it
I know
does
because
get
it
hot.
looks like a tent.
It does. And he,
Oh.
like the box it came in, he was using as a sleeping bag. So it's like valid. And Greta got groomed. I forgot that was even this week. This week I was like, our standard poodle got groomed. I don't even know where she is. Hopefully with the
Yeah, she's
guys.
welcome.
She looks fabulous, even though that's also a hot topic. Groomers.
Yeah, get excited.
What about your week?
It was good. I started my sourdough starter, my second one, Mildred, because
Love
my
her.
first one, Sarah Doe, I killed her accidentally because I ran out of flour and I never got more. I think she would have survived, which is the sad
I think
part,
so.
but
I
RIP.
think people give up too early. Like my sister-in-law is working on hers and she's like, didn't do anything in 7 days, tossing it. And I'm like, no, if it's not molding, you have to just keep going because it's gonna do something.
Yeah, and I feel like mine was kind of going like this. So I feel like it would have survived if I wouldn't have ended it.
I mean, RIP.
But I wasn't like by the time I got more flour, it had already been like 2 or 3 days that I didn't feed it. So I didn't want to put more flour and like waste the flour. So I started a new one. She's called Mildred. Thank you, Sierra, for the Um, and I think she's doing pretty good, except like I said last night, didn't get home till like 3 a.m. and I usually feed her around 9:30 p.m. every night. And I just like didn't think about it before I left. And when I got home, I also didn't think about it because I was like tired.
And
And then
3 a.m. is wild.
this morning I went to make waffles. And as I was scooping the flour, I was like, oh shit. I was like,
I'm
Mildred.
sorry. She's staring at you, starving.
Girl, I looked at her, she looked okay. So I
The
really couldn't
smell trips me out. Like the
tell. It's
alcohol
wild.
smell is crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I fed her this morning, so it was like 12 hours later than usual.
I think she'll
Um,
live.
but you know what? She's strong. So I'm gonna just feed her again tonight and get back on because maybe that second feeding within like 12 hours really like amp her
Bump her
up
up.
and we'll get back to that. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Mildred lives. It's only been 4 days maybe that I've
Okay.
done it.
You're round in the corner though to the end.
Yeah, so I'm hoping. Other than that, Serena had her physical therapy yesterday, and they said that her back comfort is improving really good, and that her back is more straight rather than like hunched, which is good to hear because
Can you like see it when you look at her now? Does she look a little different? Less dippy?
honestly, I feel like I don't really see it unless they point it out.
Yeah.
Just because the things that they see are different than the things that like we're seeing. Like when
Yeah.
they point it out, like, oh yeah, like I never noticed that. So, yeah, I guess she looks better to them, which is great. And she's been doing the acupuncture, the physical therapy, like exercises and lasers or whatever they do. And then they want to start her the next time we bring her in on the underwater treadmill.
I'm so excited. I want to see like a video of her doing it.
Yeah, so we're
I feel
gonna
like
take
she's
a
gonna be
video of
grouchy, but
her and see how she does because I don't know how she's gonna do.
does she like water?
Um, we went on a hike one time and like we had to cross through this little river and it was just like a little, like ankle to the ankle. And she just like walked through it no problem. And I was like, okay, great, but she doesn't love the bath. And like when we took her to the beach, she was like, get me out, like get me out. So I don't know.
Greta, like, she touches her paw and then she's like, because the boys were in the river and she's like, they're calling her and they're calling her. And I was like, she's gonna get swept because it was kind of deep. But just like the first, she was like, oh, like I see him. And as soon as she dipped her paw in it, she was like, oh, nope, not for me.
Yeah, I know. So I'm curious. We'll see. I'll try to take a video and I'll send it to everybody because I think it'll be really cute. Um,
Little chunky
and
body.
I know. And then other than that, she like ripped her dew
Oh,
claw. So she's bandaged and she's just so dramatic about it. Like seriously with the thing, she's like, but then I'll like take her outside and she like walks fine. Like she's fine. Because it doesn't touch the ground.
is she with you? Is she?
Yeah, she's right here. She's not.
She's like, don't talk about me.
Yeah. Other than that,
Oof, that still hurts me.
I know I feel so bad because I know that it like hurts her, but she hates the vet, so I really don't want to take her to the vet, and I'm hoping to just kind of like let it heal.
Yeah, I think it will.
I was able to clip her other one because they get long because they don't touch the ground.
And then they like curl up. I had a dog who
Oh,
would like curl, and I'm like, I
there's curl.
is it? Are her nails
So,
black?
what'd you say?
Are her nails black?
They're black.
That is like the worst. I feel like with the light ones, you're like,
That-
you could kind of see like, oh, there's the like nail part, like the nail bed.
Yeah, some of them are darker than the other ones, but you can kind of see like where it's would start to if you cut it too short. But she's not a fan of the nail trimmers, so I kind of have to just like yesterday I clipped the other one because I was like I don't want it to happen to the other one. So I have to like, get her used to the clipper thing and I have the drill, the grinder that like files it down and that doesn't hurt. Like you can touch it to you and it doesn't like hurt. And it's just kind of like a sander and that one's supposed to be safer because it just kind of like slowly.
Does
Um,
it?
but the clipper's just so quick, you know? So she didn't let me, but she let me. And I was able to get it and then she did not want to be near me. Um, yeah, other than that, not much. I would just love to have fresh bread every day like that. And
Right?
everybody jumping onto that bandwagon of like making your own bread. I feel like a lot of people are jumping onto that bandwagon of making your own bread, having your own chickens, like all that stuff, that it makes me think like because uh grocery stores like is they're getting so expensive and the quality sucks.
Yeah, you can't trust your food. You
But
can't
I'm
trust
like,
the
I
FDA.
wonder if we're like everybody's just gonna like revert back to like we all like grow our own vegetables, we have our own chickens, like what we can, which is kind of interesting to think about because that's kind of like where it started and then it
Yeah,
like progressed
we're
into grocery
circling.
stores and now we're like maybe not.
Yeah, maybe the 90s of processed easy food was not the way.
Right,
And food
exactly.
dyes and
And it's like I feel like yeah, it was meant to be like cheaper and now it's just like not
more
cheaper.
expensive. And then it's costing you a ton in healthcare because it's hurting your body.
Yeah. And if you want the healthy stuff, it's like three times the price. So, yeah, I was thinking about that today. I'm like, I wonder if we're gonna like, if there's gonna come a time in like the future where everybody's gonna start basically trying to do their own like farming if they can't, like have chickens
Goats are
goat.
on the table for us, but I think that's it. I would love to have a cow.
Yeah,
But it's just too much maintenance. I
yeah.
don't, but definitely next year we're getting chickens. I don't know if I told you that I'm looking into the bees. I think I did tell you
Oh
that.
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get bees next year. We're for sure getting chickens. Our neighbor chicken, our chicken ladies, did I tell you one of them passed away?
Aw.
Cilantro passed away. There's only one left. So I
Oh,
don't know how much longer she will really live because they don't usually live alone.
yeah. Oh,
But there,
sad.
I mean, she's like 7 or 8, so lived a good life, but
Yeah, she
she's
made
pretty
it.
lonely.
Cool.
So we're excited for that journey. But yeah, I agree. I think that people are just realizing that one, even if like there's a lot of people that like do it for the financials, I feel like they're not they just can't afford the grocery store, so they're stocking up on basic necessities and just trying to find a way to make their own stuff. I mean,
Exactly.
bread ingredients is crazy. And I've made a lot of other breads besides sourdough, but it's hard to find one that's like lasts. Obviously, it's not like store-bought bread. So it's
Right.
delicious when it's fresh, and then like the next few days, you're like, this sucks. It's crumbly, and
Yeah.
then my son loves like a good PB and J. Can't blame him. And that bread is not cutting it.
I
So
know.
hopefully the sourdough he'll like.
Yeah, hopefully. I know. I feel like I'm like I don't even think Jamil's had like a fresh sourdough homemade sourdough loaf. Like maybe if we've gone somewhere, but like not knowing, like if
Yeah.
they so I keep telling him, I'm like, there's nothing like a fresh
Ugh,
piece of warm toasted
the butter.
sourdough bread with butter and like maybe put a little garlic on there, like
Oof.
so good. Like garlic butter, maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
And
yum.
he's like, okay, yeah, cool. But like he doesn't get it because he hasn't tried it. And I'm like, it's so good. Like it doesn't compare. And I told him, I'm like, we buy bread right now and we'll eat it, but we never like go through it all the way because it's not great?
Yeah.
But when I have a fresh loaf of sourdough bread that's been like homemade, it's so good. I
Can you
could
keep
literally
it?
eat all of it in a day. Like I
Oh,
could,
and bread bowls for soup. I mean, I know the guys, I don't know if this is a general consensus for all guys, but our guys are not soup
I
guys.
hate soup. Which,
So, boo.
okay, Jamil loves a good chicken noodle soup. That's like his thing. He loves
Really?
chicken. But he doesn't look at soup like soup isn't a meal.
It's like a side, and it's like, no, this is dinner.
Yeah, one time my mom made a really good chicken noodle soup
Ugh.
and um she gave it to me and she was like, "Oh, here for dinner." So then, and this was a while ago, and I was telling Jamil, he's like, "Oh, what are we gonna have for dinner?" And I was like, "Oh, let's have that soup that my mom made because it looks bomb." And he was like, "Soup for dinner? Like, I don't know, like I'm not gonna get full off of that." And I don't know, throwing a fit, right?
Also,
We
put like bread or tortillas.
exactly. Yeah, and I think we had like a side of like bread or like she gave us something as a side. And he literally took like two bites of the soup and he was like, okay, this is really good. And I was like, yeah, it is.
Soup is
I'm like,
delicious.
are you stuffed? And then afterwards, I'm like, are you full? Are you stuffed? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm like, So I don't know. I think it's like a mind thing.
Yeah, I think so. Like a lot of guys too, they don't really like salmon. I don't know if Jamil's like this, but P was always like, I don't
He
really
actually
like
really
salmon.
likes it.
And he
Jamil really
loves
likes
it.
it.
But I'm
Yeah.
like, you always say you don't like salmon. And like you and my grandpa does the same thing. Like he's like, I don't really like salmon, Jay, and he just like eats it. Like he eats it, and then I'm like,
You're just
talking
lying.
about
You're just out here lying for no reason.
like what is what? Because it's pink. I don't get it. I think that is why for my grandpa. But P
What
was always kind of like,
is
but now he does like it. Now he'll say it. But before he was like, meh, I don't really like salmon. I'm like,
Yeah, you do.
also sourdough. Go back to sourdough. You can use the discard as a roux to thicken things. I don't know if you knew this. I just recently learned this, and I
Yeah.
totally used it because Arkham was sick this week. I made him like
Yeah.
a little noodle soup. I ate it. He didn't even have any. He wasn't hungry, I guess. But what I like to do is when I have a lot of extra veggies, like I like to buy a big thing of celery, thing of carrots, and I like to cook them down with onions, and then I blend them and put them in the silicone things and put them in the freezer.
Hmm.
So I pulled like two of those cubes out. They're big pumpkins. And then I was like, I feel like it's just missing something. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna put the discard in it for
Yeah.
like to thicken it. And it totally worked. At first I was
You
like,
just boil it in there?
yes, I was scared because I thought like, oh shoot, because when I did it, I put like a spoonful and it all floated to the top. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh no, I just like messed up. I should have like done a slurry or something. I shouldn't have just put it in there. But then I kept mixing it and it just got thicker and it was fine. And I've
Interesting.
seen people use it for gravy because they do like the ground meat and then they just add a spoon, let it thicken and then make the gravy.
Hmm.
So,
I know. I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like saving the discard yet, but when I do, you'll have to send me the recipes.
yes, it's been fun. The discard has been my favorite part.
Yeah. Do you
And you
keep
can
all
just,
the discard in the same jar?
I do.
Do you keep that jar airtight in the fridge?
I do. And if it gets like it starts to get the hooch on top, or if it starts to get really like you can tell it's starving, I will even like, and I'm not going to bake with it. I usually bake with the discard maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right now that my starter is out, because I've been storing Gunther in the fridge and I haven't really had discard but once a week.
Yeah.
So when you can start saving the discard and when your starter's out of the fridge, you can kind of bake with the discard once a week at least because it's so built up. Um
Yeah.
but it's so great. I mean, I made crackers this week. I made rolls. Um I made English
Pop-Tarts.
muffins.
Didn't you make Pop-Tarts?
I did make Pop Tarts. That was like a few weeks ago, but I need to make more. It takes a lot of
Yeah.
butter, but yeah, I did the Pop Tarts. I've done cookies with it. You can just smear it on the cast iron and it's like pizza crust.
Hmm.
And
But
then
this is the sourdough flavor still, right?
yes, Arkham did not like it. It was a little too tangy for him. I loved it because it was
Yeah.
like really spicy sourdough. But
Yeah.
and also you can just spread it on parchment paper and put it in the oven and it makes crackers.
Nice.
So there's a lot you can do with the discard. But yeah, so once if I notice it's getting like really hungry, like the discard looks really aggressively hungry or smells aggressively hungry, I'll just put a scoop of flour, like I'll just feed it
Yeah.
just so it's like
Like,
stays alive. But yeah, so how you test your discard, I think I've already told you this, is like the
oh
way
yeah,
I
you
test you
water.
put it in water to see if it floats, but you can tell it's so weird. Like as soon as I started thinking that I could use it, it was so light. Cause you know, like when the flour, when you lift it, it's like kind of heavy with the flour.
Yeah.
Once I was like, it's so light and airy, like it's weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to let you know when I get to that part of my
Mildred's
sourdough.
gonna make it. She's gonna make it.
I hope she does because
We need her.
I did her dirty
Oh,
last
we were
night.
talking about soups. and the guys and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a soup. Like albondigas, it's like it has meat in it.
Yeah.
I love split pea soup. I have to say, I think that's my favorite soup.
I couldn't tell you if I've ever had that.
Really?
But pea soup
Yes.
just doesn't sound.
It does not sound appetizing, and P makes fun of it because he's like, it's like an old person soup,
Yeah, it is.
but it's so good.
I know somebody that eats it and they're old.
Well,
That's the
I
only
eat
person I
it.
know that eats it besides you.
And also, grandma tried it and she was like, this is way better. There's like a famous thing called like split pea Anderson. She's like, this is better than split pea Anderson's soup.
Um,
And transitioning into pop culture.
uh, Pop culture events that are going on. Honestly, I don't know of too much happening right now, but my girl, Ariana Grande, was just on SNL. And
Oh, I
she's done
love SNL.
SNL. And I didn't watch it last night because I was out, but I'm gonna watch it tonight because I've been seeing clips about it. And I just love her. I just am like a diehard fan.
I'm not on board,
I love her.
but
I
I
think
support
she's
you.
so talented. I cannot wait to see Wicked,
Oh,
the
she's
movie.
in.
Yeah.
There's a
That
movie, or is it a? I don't know
yeah.
anything.
Movie. I forget when it's coming out actually. Maybe November or maybe October. I forget.
Oh,
Yeah. Um, so she's been doing that, which is why she's been like blonde. Um, but I saw some of the clips from SNL last night and they're funny.
does she make fun of Pete Davidson in it? Since he was on SNL for so
Not the
long.
ones I saw. She did a good Celine Dion impression because she's really
Oh,
good with impressions. And she did a good Celine Dion impression for one of the things. And then she did a few other skits that were funny and cute. I feel like SNL doesn't always do it for
it.
me. Yeah.
I love, especially if I know somebody good is gonna be on it. But I love it. Like the Adam Sandler one is my favorite one.
Yeah.
But the
I
Shane
recently
Gillis
just
one is good.
developed a crush on Adam Sandler.
What?
I recently just developed a crush on Adam Sandler.
Okay, Grandma always had a crush on Adam Sandler, like when he was young, and I was like, I don't get it. Like I'm not. But then when I looked back at the old SNLs, I was like, oh my god, he's so cute.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, it was maybe like a month or two ago, and I saw old photos of him in like you know how the guys used to wear like those workout crop tops
Yes.
in the olden days where the belly showed.
But yeah, his and I just love. I think that's what girls or people don't understand most of the time. A don't give an F attitude is like the sexiest thing you can have, and the passion. Like Morgan Wallen is not that hot, but
He's not
watching
that
him
bad.
sing is like, oh yes,
He's got it going on.
you've got it. And
Yeah.
also, he's crazy. I know, doing all the crazy stuff, but it's like doesn't give enough hot. Pete Davidson, people don't understand why he's hot. You know why he's hot? Because he doesn't give up.
He doesn't give it up. Also,
That makes you so hot.
like the funny guys, like the I don't know, like the just
If
like
you're
wanting
not
to
funny,
laugh, like no, yeah, I don't know. I saw a picture of Adam Sandler in his prime
oof.
in that workout tee that like shows a little belly, a little midriff.
I'm gonna have to look this photo up.
So something happened to He had like a backwards hat on.
Oh,
Something happened to me. I don't know. I just like
making me
levitated.
hot.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. Like I'm in love with Adam. And I had no idea this whole time. I've never known. And then ever since then, I look at him different. And somebody was like, oh yeah, but like back when he was like young. And I was like, even now, I'm
Even
looking at him
now, I'm here
different
for it.
because I see him and I think back to what he was and I appreciate it and I love him for it now too.
And he doesn't get an F. He wears whatever he wants. So hot.
I know. So I'm like, he's and I told Jamil that I think a few weeks ago when I first had this realization, I was like, guess who I recently just came to realization that like I'm in love with. And he was like, who? And I was like, he's funny. He's not your like average, like, oh, people have a crush on him. Like, think outside the box. He couldn't guess. And when I told him, he was like, are you joking? And I'm like, no, I'm dead serious. And he was like, he doesn't understand it. I get it because a year ago I wouldn't have understood it either. But that little shirt did something for me.
I'm looking that photo up.
Yeah, he's so cute. What else have I seen? Yeah, so I'm excited to watch the Saturday Night Live tonight. I just think she's so talented and so cutesy.
I do not have a problem with her. I do like her. I'm just not like a diehard
Yeah,
fan. And I
yeah.
also think the whole thing with her and Pete Davidson was effed up. I think that was. And then when she like licked the donut at that,
Oh my gosh, people hold on to that. It's been so
not
long.
cool.
I apologize.
But otherwise, I do think she's extremely talented. I love watching her clips on Jimmy Fallon. So
Yeah,
maybe I'll watch the SNL. But she's the
yeah.
musical guest and the actual guest. This?
Yes, I think
Headphone.
so. I think so, yeah. Because she does a lot of different. She does like a bridesmaids one with all these girls, and they're
Is this
singing.
for your use?
You know that song Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter? Have you heard it?
No. I
Um,
like don't listen to the radio, so I never hear. This for? That's for the Wii remote. Here, go out to the living room. You can play on my phone. Go.
well, it was like
Go out to the living room and close the
the
door for me, please.
it summer song this year, and
Close it
they
gently.
pretty much did like a remake to that. Like they did the tune to that, but with different. And all the girls in there, I think with the bridesmaids, they could all sing really well, but they were all pretending to sing bad, which was interesting. And they were like doing a bridesmaids performance for the bride, but the story was like the groom was finding out, like, did you cheat on me? It looked cute.
Oh, I love it. I'm
And
gonna
then
have to look at it.
there's one of the guys on there, and then like one scene, she's like pretending to be the mom, and she like makes out with him, which is kind of funny. At the end or something. So you have to let me know if you look up the clips or if you
I
watch
think
it.
it's on Peacock. I'll have to look.
Yeah. Other than that, what else have I seen? I don't know. I feel like I've seen a lot that I could probably tell you, but it's not super fresh stuff.
Yeah,
And I don't know like what you know and what you don't know.
I don't know a lot
I
of stuff.
know.
My dad is a diehard TMZ, so he
Oh,
probably
that's
knows. Ugh, I like
um
forever wanted to take him on one of those TMZ tours. Maybe I
yeah,
still will. He
yeah.
just turned 61. I should have taken him this year.
Okay, right. Um
I don't think this is fresh, but I think this is super random. And sometimes the stuff pops up like on my Instagram, but I think it's so random. Remember the Ace family? I know you loved them. I like
in the beginning, I liked them, and then once they got really big,
big.
I wasn't into
They were
them.
weird.
They
It got
got
too
really,
much.
like, I think when they were young, they were like cute and fun, but then when it became like their job, it like changed. Like the dynamic changed, and I just like wasn't into it. It was like try hard to like post anything we can post. Like I wasn't into it. But in the beginning, I thought like their content was funny and cute because it seemed
And the
so
poor kids being like in the middle of that.
yeah, and then once they like started having kids and started having a family and it became like their job to post, it just like I kind of got the ick for it.
And yeah, I didn't I mean, I don't know a lot of stuff about it, but like the whole thing is so weird that like now they're separated. But there was like a whole thing where they created a festival and then supposedly it didn't happen. They just took people's money.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I I like randomly it pops up on my Instagram and I read it. So I haven't seen a lot. But yeah, and then I saw that now she's like she got her breast
It's taken out.
implants removed, which is
A
great
lot
if
of
anybody
influencers are like so many influencers now are like getting them removed.
they like ruin your life. Like I know older family members and like older friends of mine that are like in their 50s and above and like it like f's you up.
It's so crazy though because I don't know. I hear both sides of it
Well,
and
nowadays I think they're not made from like the people that I know that had it and had them removed, they were made from bad materials. And
yeah,
so, like, one of the family members of mine, they could not, she didn't know why she was so sick. She didn't know why, like, her joints were being, like, eaten. And, like, she couldn't figure it out. And they kept checking her implants. And they were like, they're not leaking. It's fine. But they finally had to, like, see when it was actively leaking. And they were like, oh my God, they are leaking. But I
yeah.
think, I cannot remember I think now they're made of saline, but back then I think they were silicone.
No, they're silicone still.
Oh, then maybe they
Well,
were
you
made.
can decide if you want saline or silicone, but the silicone I think is better and better than it was before, like the silicone now. But you can decide which ones, but silicone is still the top one that everybody gets to this day because it's the most natural feeling and looking, and the saline ones is just kind of like a bag of water. So like if you bend over, like
Oh,
people like rippling. So it like the saline ones suck for appearance and feel. So most doctors or
recommend silicone.
surgeons are going to recommend the silicone ones. I do think the silicone ones now though are better because um when the silicone now, if it were to rupture, it doesn't like really ooh out anymore. It's more just like one big like
It's there.
obviously, it's still not great, but I think it's a little bit better. But yeah, it's weird because I remember thinking like, oh yeah, saline is like
The
the
better
safe.
option.
And then once I got into like talking with like the doctors and stuff about it and just learning
And do
more about
you
it.
do them at your office?
Yeah, we have a doctor, Dr. Kalaria. She's the uh body and breast surgeon. Um Then I was like, wow, like shocked to see that silicone is still like the number one.
That is crazy. I don't know what
Yeah.
I might be wrong if it was silicone that hers were made out of, but something was
It
leaking.
probably was because the saline, I think if it leaks, it's literally just like,
Bust
yeah, like I don't think it'll really cause any harm to
issues.
your body. Yeah, but I think the silicone does. Um, I don't know, it's just so weird because I've talked to a lot of surgeons about their thoughts on it because they'll say, the breast implant illness. And there's surgeons that tell me like that's not a real thing. It's like a mental thing. And
Yeah.
then there's other surgeons that say like scientific stuff about it. It's just like all over the place. It's really crazy. I'm like, oh, interesting. Like, oh,
I feel like
interesting.
it does make sense that it would be in your head a little bit,
Yeah.
but I'm sure there are things like, I don't know,
Some
different
patients
bodies are more
really freak
sensitive.
out. Yeah, some patients really freak out with the thought of having like a foreign object in their body, which I don't blame them. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's just so crazy because I feel like we'll see patients that will come in and be like, oh, I've had these implants in forever, or not even for that long, not from us, but like, coming from elsewhere and just like be like, I need to take them out because they're causing me so much like health issues. And then,
And your doctor will take them out.
yeah, if that's what the patient wants, then we'll
Right.
do it. Um, but it's just really interesting to hear different surgeons' perspectives on that. I mean, obviously the surgeons are going to do that if that's what the patient wants and is
Yeah.
requesting, like surgery they want. But it's interesting to see the different thoughts from the different surgeons about how they perceive that patient when they hear that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so weird. And I guess it makes it hard if that's like your job. But there was this one surgeon that I was coordinating for, and he was really knowledgeable. Like I felt like he should have been like a teacher because he just like loved to teach about stuff. Like if I would ask one question, he would just like go on and on about these articles and the new things and like all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, like he just wanted to teach like the information he knew. But I don't know, like it's just really crazy. It's really hard to know like what to believe, I feel like.
Yeah. I think all of healthcare and all of weird body stuff is kind of like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I saw that they separated, but I just think it's really lame when everybody puts out the joint statement of like, we still love each other. We're still best friends. It's like, are you?
Yeah. I know it is interesting. Did you see, Tommy Fury, the boxer or I think he's a boxer. Tommy Fury, the other Fury that's like the champion?
Yes, I know him.
Tommy Fury is his brother and he's like
Oh,
really good looking. He looks like a Ken doll.
oh. I don't know if I'm
But
imagining that.
hair. He has like dark hair and like lighter eyes and like tan skin. Nothing like his brother because I think they have different
Yeah,
moms or
moms, I
they have
guess.
different moms. Yeah. Um, he and his fiance, they have a daughter, and they recently just got like separated this year, and everybody was livid because her name is Molly May, and they met on one of those like reality TV dating shows.
Hmm.
And she's like so sweet, and everybody loves her, and everybody like loved them as a couple. And she put out a statement that kind of insinuated like this wasn't her choice and like she didn't want it to end, kind of insinuating that he did something, which I'm
Hmm.
sure he did because he's, you know,
Yeah,
you look at him and I feel like you just know. So people really hated him for a minute because they were like, "What did you do?" And then he even posted something and was like, "All these rumors about me." Like it was like a workout post that he posted. Like it looked like an ad. And then like the caption was like, "Life's been really hard. All these rumors about me really have me struggling." And we're like, why would you choose this workout photo to post with that caption? Like it was just so
thirst
weird.
trap.
I know, it was just so weird. So I don't know if couples do that because of that,
Yeah, I
because
guess. So you don't
insinuate that
suspect.
like somebody did something, then they'll literally like get attacked for it. But like you're not really
So like,
everybody
be
knows.
honest.
Yeah. Just be honest. Tell me, did he cheat? What happened?
Just to let us know the truth. And don't lie about that you're still best friends. That's so
Right.
lame.
And like if somebody did something, like let them be attacked for it.
Don't be out
Shouldn't
there doing bad stuff.
exactly.
Also, on the topic of relationships, are you watching The Golden Bachelorette?
No, I have not seen any of the Bachelorettes or the Golden Bachelor. I've not watched
I
any of
don't
the
watch The
years.
Bachelor. I did love Bachelor in Paradise for a while because I loved Aaron,
I watched that.
but I have not watched that in a few years. I never watched The Bachelor or Bachelorette, but I saw the last Golden Bachelor when we were literally driving to move to Indiana. I watched like it started and I was like, oh my God, he's from Indiana. And I was like, that's exciting. So I
That's
watched
cute.
it and I loved the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, I
So
heard that it
then
was really good.
this year was the Golden Bachelorette, even though I think it was dumb that he ended up getting a divorce. It was not, the
Oh,
situation was kind of lame at the end.
yeah,
The last two women, one of them was trying, I think she was trying so hard to get him. Like, I feel like she was like, this is my prize. Like, and
yeah.
so she was kind of not being honest, I don't feel like.
Was it that older white guy?
Yes, Gary.
Harry. Okay, so he actually made an appearance on the Kardashians this last season
That's
because
so random.
Kendall and her mom, Chris, are, I guess, obsessed with the Golden Bachelor. So they like wanted to meet him and they had him over for dinner and he's like at dinner with them. So I only know him because I was and I saw him
That's
and they were like,
hilarious.
I like tell us about it. Like, did you pick somebody yet? Like, because it hadn't like aired the final episode and he would just seemed really cute.
Oh, he
And,
was adorable.
and they were like gonna go watch like the finale or one
One
episode
episode.
in their thing. And he Kendall like went into the room and she was like, "Oh my God." And she was like, when because he was like, "Oh, my daughters would freak out if they like, knew." And they were like, "Oh, let's FaceTime them." And he was like, "I don't know how to do that." Like, and I was like, "Oh, I can help you." And she was like, "Oh my God." She's like, when he pulled up his calls, she's like, I saw a name of the girl that was like the most recent of all the calls. And I forget who she said. And she was like, I think I know like who he chose. And he was like, she's like, because that was the name like on the top of his call
I forgot
log.
what her name even was. But the other girl was a better pick. And she lived close. Like at that point in your life, you need to think who lives close to you because you have
Right.
kids and grandkids. You're not going to move across
And
the
they're
country
already
for
like
somebody.
settled. Yeah.
So she lived far from him. And the other girl, I thought was he was going to choose her because she lived like a state away. Like he lives in Indiana. I think she lived in like Illinois or Ohio. So
Yeah.
I was like, that would be a better fit. Like, and then he ended up, that girl tried so hard and she got him and he
Yeah.
chose her and then they ended up getting divorced. It's like, yeah, because you're like, you live too far away. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this season, but I'm loving it.
I should watch it because I hear such good things.
Oh, I love the golden peas. Like, I can't handle it. But a lot of it's more emotional because they're like, my husband of this, or my wife of this many years passed away, and you're like, oh my
I know
God.
Jamil like any type of reality TV. He says, but then like I'll be watching it and I'll catch him like watching from a distance. And then he'll be
And
like,
they're like, what happened with that? It's like,
cheat on her or something. I'm like, I thought you didn't like
you're not interested.
I don't, it's cringy. I'm like,
You're acting cringy right now.
yeah. Can you
Trying to
hear
be
some?
involved, but not. But yeah, I love it. Except for the crazy part is like they're older. So like she took one guy ice skating and I was like, "Oh,
Oh my God.
that's not a good idea." And he
No.
fell on his butt. Like he freaking ate it. And I was like, And then in one episode they're playing kickball. And I was like, everybody like freaking got injured. Like the guys were playing. They were putting it all out there. But they were like, they kicked the ball and then they're like, ah. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not safe. But it's not safe. No. The other day in your video that you sent me, P was like, I hear Serena. She's snoring. I was like, oh, you're right.
It makes me so mad sometimes, like when she's like really heavily knocked out, like dreaming knocked out. Sometimes the snoring is so crazy. I'm like, are you okay? And I don't know if she just dreams a lot or if it's a Frenchie thing or what, but like she's like when she's knocked out, like in her REM sleep, her like paws are like, and her face muscles are like twitching and
Oh,
like, I'm like,
you're right.
okay.
Okay, hot topics will be kind of quick, but not. But we'll
Mm,
talk about favorite items. Okay, so you are not from New York, but Jamil is. Are New York pizza and New York bagels better?
yeah. They're just so like, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not like a super picky person, so I think they're better, but I'm not like, oh my God, like
Now,
this is
is the crust, it's like the thick, gnarly crust?
no, the pizza in New York is actually thin crust. They're like the
Oh,
huge thin slices, and then the bagels are really doughy and thick. Kind of like opposite. Um, the pizza's so good, and the bagels are really good.
now you shared with us your favorite pizza last time, which is controversial in itself. I don't know if that will air. We don't know.
Don't knock it. Try it. I just, I'm such like a whore for a salty, savory, sweet
I
combination.
asked P
Love it.
what he thought your dream pizza was.
Yeah.
because I was like, her pizza's crazy. I would never imagine jalapeno, pineapple, and pepperoni because mine is so like Mediterranean. Like I like wanna I want like a pesto chicken, artichoke heart,
Yeah,
feta. Yum. That's my dream pizza. But
that
Kalamata
too.
olives.
I
But
love
I was
that.
like, what's Alyssa's like? What do you think? I'm like, you know her. What do you think her pizza is? And he's like, like a carnitas pizza. And I was like, okay, well, that was closer than I was thinking.
Like the meat,
Yeah,
they have that?
I think so.
I've never tried that.
But he's like, I feel like she would want something like spicy. And I was like, you're right. Kind of.
Yeah. I'm just not like a huge, like I like meat, but I'm just like so picky with it. So like I don't love a meat lover's pizza. That's
No.
the bottom of my list. I don't want the sausage.
I
I don't
hate the sausage. Hate
I
it.
hate the sausage. I hate the ham. The only type of meat I like is the pepperoni.
Especially when it's
Everything else,
crispy. Mm.
yeah. Everything else, no, no, no. But yeah,
What was
I just
that,
love
dude?
that combination. That combination is,
Man, you're making a lot of noise, bro.
you're gonna have to try it.
That does sound good. Hi.
Those are crispy. So good.
Um, okay. What else? Oh, what is your chips of choice?
Um, Not weighing in health.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know. Do you have one? I have to think about it.
So my chip of choice, I mean, I love Lay's. So I think right now my chip of choice is the chili limon chips.
Oh,
They
yes.
don't have dye in them, so I can eat those.
Love those.
Um, my son loves lemon chips, so that's still a fave. But
Yeah.
I did have Ruffles made it. I don't know if they still make it. A honey mustard ruffle. So bomb.
Is it?
Yes. I love honey mustard though. Do you not love honey mustard?
I like honey mustard, but like as a chip, I just don't
Oh,
know. I feel like that's like having like a ketchup chip.
there is in Canada, but we don't have them. I never tried it. Maybe we should get them for the pod.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I love the chili limon
And they
one.
came out with global flavors. Did you try any of those?
No. I really don't be buying chips like that.
It's better to not.
I know. Jamil, he likes to have a bag of chips here, but I'll usually just buy those Trader Joe's chocolate.
Yeah, and like the plain, I like having just a plain chip on hand because then you can make like a nacho. So easy.
Yeah. Yeah, like a tortilla.
When I'm done, where's my phone? Um, okay, and ice cream of choice.
Um, Chocolate chip or just like a basic. I just love a good chocolate. I love basic chocolate chip or like when we go to this ice cream shop that we love, they have like this salted caramel brownie, like the sea salt caramel brownie one. It's so good. So that or the just basic chocolate chip is good.
Yum.
What about you? Let me guess.
I okay, go.
Do you like mint chocolate chip?
I love mint chocolate chip.
Okay, that's the first thing that came to mind. But would you say that's your favorite?
No, I love mint chip.
Wait, pistachio?
That's Arkham's absolute favorite is
Okay.
pistachio ice cream. I had never had it.
Ice cream.
I know.
Pistachio ice cream.
I know you do.
Pistachio ice cream is so cool.
It is.
It's cold, isn't it?
It is cold.
What makes it hot?
If you melt it.
Yeah.
It would get hot, but it will be melted like soup.
Why?
I love I don't know.
Does ice cream melt when you drink it?
It gets warm, so it melts, and then you can just drink it. You're right.
Why does it melt in one place?
I don't know, buddy.
Maybe it's because it's more hot in lots of places.
Maybe. Can you do me a favor and go to the kitchen and bring chips?
Oh, yeah,
Thank you.
I'll put in sour chips
Okay, bring some sour
and
chips.
called barbecue.
Okay, and barbecue.
Ah,
Thank you. I love a barbecue chip too. Yum. Okay, for ice cream. God, what do I like? Oh, I love a cheesecake ice cream. If like Cold Stone, if I'm going to Cold Stone, I'm getting a cheesecake ice cream with chocolate chips mixed in and the cheesecake crust.
Interesting.
That's my fave.
What is that?
But other than that,
there you go.
thank you. Got us a second.
I got these.
Thank you so much. A coffee ice cream, also good. But I think my top favorite, like if I just go to the store and buy an ice cream, maybe cookies and cream.
Classic.
Yeah.
Right. And Serena.
Oh my gosh, look at Serena. Oh my God, Serena, are you alive? She knocked AF.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that how she sleeps like at night?
Yeah. She'll sleep on her side, but then sometimes she'll step out and she'll just act like that.
Cozy.
You're so crazy.
Is her mouth open?
I just clear coated the whole restaurant.
Yay, thank you. Okay, well, dialogue dolls, I think we'll end it here for this episode. We'll try to get more concise in the coming episodes. Sorry for the interruptions. We'll try to edit out what we can.
Look at Mama.
But wow, this is our,
Tricky-do-do.
that is tricky too. This is our true life with a 4-year-old,
Wow.
men,
Kong's clips are so crazy.
and dogs.
Hey, Mama, Kong's clips are so crazy.
They are great.
Kong does crazy clips.
And can't wait to see you guys
That's
next
it.
time.
We'll see you next time, dollies.
Love ya.
Love ya. Bye.
Yeah.